Hey y'all, what's up? Good afternoon. This is Roklan. I am back with Roklan Reacts, and today we are going to look at another suggestion. I still say suggestion wrong. Another suggestion from Mr. R.M. McLean 124. He actually just sent a link. I'm thinking this might be Josh Wolf, the second best practical joke. Maybe I wrote it down wrong, so I believe that is what he is telling me to watch. I just copied and pasted what he gave me, and I'm not sure if the thing that says Josh Wolf practical joke is connected to that link that I copied and pasted to my page. But anyway, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here all this time. I got, like I said, the last video, I got to 1,000 subscribers. I'm very happy about it. If I wasn't going through this other crap that I'm going through in my life right now, we could have had like a live celebration or something. I could have like went live for a couple of hours and just watched whatever you guys suggested in the comments. And maybe we still do that at some point, maybe like the end of the week or sometime during the weekend. But yeah, I definitely want to do that just to celebrate that I have stuck it out this long and winded up with 1,000 subscribers. So now I can watch more videos and get monetized for it. All right, but anyway, today we are watching this link. Yeah, and when I pulled it up, it does say it says my second favorite practical joke, and I can see that it is Josh Wolf. I believe I saw a joke by him before. It looks like I saw him at the same place. I think well, let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Yeah, I think I recognize the background. I don't know if maybe he did his show at the same place more than once, but or maybe this is the same exact stand-up, and this was a little later on in that stand-up routine. But anyway, thanks guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and keep on suggesting new videos in the comment section. And if you can, please put a link to the video that you want me to watch, just like Mr. McCain did. All right, here we go. This is Josh Wolf, my second favorite practical joke.
I've really evolved into more of an edible guy than a weed guy. I mean, smoking it. You guys do? Here's the thing. It's so different, though. Like, because, okay, let me just ask a question. A round of applause, people who have taken too much of an edible before. Okay. Yeah? Because here's the deal, right? What they don't tell you is that an edible, when you smoke it, right, before you're going into it, you're like, oh, when I smoke weed, I'm high for an hour or so, and I come down, I'm fine. What they don't tell you is that an edible high goes like this. So if after an hour of eating an edible, you think to yourself, man, I'm as high as I want to be, you are fucked. You got a little extra time on that ride. I remember the first time I took an edible, 3 hours in, I was like, I'm ready to get off the ride now. And they should put something on the package that says you can always eat more, you can never eat less. And most of the time, the edible fucks you up that first time because you eat it, and an hour later, you're like, I'm not high. And then as soon as you eat it again, as soon as you swallow that second piece, you start to get high, and you're like, oh no! Fuck you up. Now, I will tell you this, and let me tell you a little story ahead of time, because I am also a huge fan of practical jokes. And I pulled such a great practical joke on my brother with an edible. It was so good. Don't feel bad for him. That motherfucker has done some shit.
I hope this is the same video, but
let me give you a little backstory.
He might have started this.
So, the very first time that I took an edible, I remember walking into my weed store. And by the way, the weed stores in LA, like, to get your medical card is so easy. I went into the doctor. I remember when I was first going in, and I had a whole story planned. I had migraines when I was 12, and then I fell down and I hit my head. So I walk into the doctor's office, and there's a poster on the wall that says, if you suffer from any of these, you can have your rec. It was a fucking cheat sheet, right? So I'm like, well, I don't need a story. I go, I'm just going to memorize the first one. It's alphabetical. I'm going to memorize the first one. You ever do this when you memorize something, by the way, where you're like, got it? What was that? Yeah. Half a second and you're back. Like, I don't fucking remember what that was at all.
That's me at my gas tank. Okay, all right.
So I memorized the first one, and I'm like, okay, got it. Guy calls me in, and I sit down there. He goes, Mr. Wolf, what seems to be ailing you where you feel like you need medical marijuana? And I just blanked. But I remembered it was the first one, so I was like, autism? You should have seen him. He was like,
Give me the answer. You forgot that quick.
he said, do you mean anxiety? I go, that's it, anxiety. Super anxious that I'm going to get autism. Can you just give me the fucking card? It's also funny, like, well, so I'm at my weed store. And the guy who I always buy from, the guy who owns the place, he goes, you're not an edible guy, huh? I go, no, I haven't tried one. And he was like, you want to try one? I said, sure. And he goes, what do you like to eat? And I said, well, for sweets, I like baked goods and stuff. And he said, well, we actually made some blueberry muffins fresh today. And I was like, well, fucking look at you, okay. Wow, you got yourself a little bakery in the back, buddy? That's nice. So he brings me out a blueberry muffin, and he hands it to me, and he goes, here you go. Now, at my weed store, they have a place where they want you to they smoke responsibly. They want you to get high in a second room. And the room has a pool table. It's got a big screen TV. It's got PlayStation. It's got Xbox. It's got an Apple TV. And what I used to do is I'd get a joint, and I'd smoke it. I'd be high for an hour. I'd come down, and I'd drive home. So I thought, well, that's what's going to happen after I eat my edible. Right? So as I'm eating the muffin, and it was delicious. You know, the edibles are good now. And you ever eat something that's so good, there's one crumb left, and you're like, well, I am eating that. I put the last crumb in my mouth. And right when I put it in my mouth, the dude who gave it to me walks in and he goes, you didn't eat that whole fucking muffin, did you? And he goes, well, you got to get the fuck out of here. I go, what? Why? He goes, well, you're about to freak out for real. I can't have that here. You got to go home. And I go, you didn't tell me not to eat the whole muffin. He goes, I didn't tell you to eat the whole muffin either, did I? And I go, what's about to happen? And he goes, you are in for an uncomfortable 8 hours. Look, those of us who've done drugs, well, you know, your mindset going in is really important, right? And fear is not your fucking friend, okay? So I'm already spiraling the drain. I'm not even high yet. I'm like, what's gonna happen to me? Right? And dude goes, how far do you live from here? I go, oh, like 20 minutes. And he goes, you might make it. I try to walk out of there on my way out. He goes, who's at your house? I go, my kids. He goes, I wouldn't fucking talk to them. I go, all right. So I go home, I go to sleep, I wake up high. Now, I hate waking up high. I hate waking up high, and I'll tell you why. Because, look, when I go to sleep, I'm basically saying, whatever's happening right now, I'm pretty much done with. Yeah. If I wanted to stay high, I'd fucking stay awake. Pretty much done, and I'd like to wake up with a clean slate, please. So when I wake up high, I'm like, fuck you. So I called the dude who gave me the edible. I was mad. I go, hey, man. Like, you ought to let somebody know when you give them tomorrow weed. It's tomorrow, motherfucker.
You should have let him know a lot of things.
Like, There should be a note on the package that says, I hope you don't have shit to do tomorrow either, because you're going to be fucked up for a couple days, man. So, I laid in bed, because then I started to think, what a great opportunity edibles would be for a practical joke on my brother. Now, don't feel bad. Hey, who's got older brothers in here? Right? So fuck them. We know what they did. We know you. You older brothers in here, you deserve every last little bit of shit you get your whole life. You motherfuckers. So, I laid in bed all day trying to decide, which one of my brothers I wanted to give a near-death experience to, right? Now, before you feel bad for him, let me tell you what he used to do to me. You know those couches that fold out into beds? So he would fold it out, and then he would put me in it, and he would fold it the fuck back up. At a very young age, I had to learn to breathe like this. Like a fucking survivor. Right? So I was like, I'm gonna get this dude. I call him on the phone. I'm like, hey man, do you want to come over and get high? And he was like, yeah. I go, great, I'm gonna roll you a joint. You're not ready for the edibles that I have. Now look, anybody who knows, when you tell your brother, your older brother, he can't do something. So when I told him you're not ready for edibles, I was basically standing on the edge of the dock like this. I just needed him to take the bait, right? Oh, and he took it. He was like, what? What? Oh, I'm eating what you eat, bro. Don't you worry about me. I'm your big brother. You don't think I can handle you? I've been getting high since you were in mom. And I was like, first of all, yeah, don't say in mom to me. I don't like it. There's got to be a better analogy than that one. I said, but if you want to come on over. He goes, I'm coming over. Now, I had bought him something called a space cake. Guys, a space cake will fuck you up, right? So I cut it in half, and I cut his half in half, right? And he goes, how much you eating? I go, I'm eating a half, but you should probably start with a quarter. What? What? You don't think I can handle what you handle, bro? I'm gonna eat. I might even eat the big half. I'm like, oh, if you insist. And right when he finished his half, I turned to him and I did to him what the dude at the weed store did to me. I go, hey man. He goes, what? I go, you gotta get the fuck out of here. And he was like, what? Why? I go, well, I think you're gonna freak out and I think it'll be really funny. So. And he goes, wait a second. You think I'm gonna freak out so you're gonna send me home? That doesn't make sense, bro. Because if you really thought I was gonna freak out, you'd wanna watch and make fun of me. I think you're sending me home because you know you're gonna freak out, bro. That's what's gonna happen, huh? You're gonna freak out, that's why you're sending me home? We'll see what happens. I'll call you in an hour. And I said, I look forward to your phone call. An hour and a half later, he sent me a text. That was just numbers, right? And I was like... And I texted him back, I go, what is that? He goes, my vital signs, I'm freaking out! He was texting me from a blood pressure machine in CVS. He was like, I'm getting my numbers, dude. I might die in CVS. I said, you're not gonna die, but you could die. I said, if you don't want to die, the most important thing is to never, ever. And then I hit send, I turned off my phone, and I went to sleep. Because fuck him, he put me in a couch, everybody. Fuck him.
All right, y'all, that was Josh Wolf. Josh Wolf still has some issues with his older brother that's been messing with him. And I know the feeling because I have a lot of older brothers. So yeah, they mess with you. They will do it to you. But thanks again for suggesting that. Sorry again for the for the interruption that I had, but I was still listening very keenly while I was looking at my phone. So make sure you guys still like and subscribe. Send me some more suggestions, and even if you have more Josh Wolf, that would be cool because he tells long stories. He's like one of the rappers that gets to the punchline, but it's a really strong punchline at the end. But it takes a while for him to get to it, and that's fine. I mean, that's a different style of comedy. I know a lot of people are like funny storytellers, and his story is funny too. So, but I mean, at the same time, I am not a weed guy, so I got a gist of what he's talking about because I did smoke weed a couple of times, and I really didn't like the feeling. And I know there's a lot of people that love weed, so they probably, I mean, most people probably don't see things the way I see it. But I mean, that's a funny story though, and I'm happy he got some revenge for all the younger brothers out here in the world. So thanks a lot, and make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.